Hey friends, after a long time, I went to actually hometown and then there was no kind of connectivity, internet and all that, so I couldn't make this happen. So I came back to my work city. So now yeah, I've seen a lot of comments and then I think I may try to some responses as well. So hope you all are going good in your respective areas. Unfortunately, the live session I've scheduled, I couldn't make it. There was saying some software issue, live streaming software. I don't know. That's why I canceled that one, and then again I make it a separate one. So anyhow, we are now live. So whoever is able to, watch this, please come and join, and then yeah, ask your questions, and yeah, let me also pull up those questions and let me see if what I can we can speak about there. Let me see. Meanwhile, hope you guys are learning and see nowadays market also little bit lazy in terms of the opportunities that I can clearly see actually. You know, I don't know about your companies, but in my organization also little bit hiccups are there. But yes, I think. Most of the service-based organization little bit facing some challenges because of this US crisis. This US crisis is not so much declared officially, but it is there actually federal bank related. So there are some challenges, financial challenges being facing by the, the uh, the service providers. Okay, so let's see. Let me open some comments and see what we can talk about today. Uh, mm, what is that? Send me video, visual diagrams, and connect to Google Meet, sir. A lot of comment here. I can see help for review, mentions, comments. Uh, okay, daily basis, BS every morning. Jira. So Jira, Megha Gupta. If you will be hearing this later, also anyhow, I've responded to you as well. Jira video. I've created three videos on the Jira. How do you create dashboard? How you set up the project, and how you create the user stories. How do you create a epic? Everything I have explained. I mean, you can go and see that. If you have still have any challenges, you can ask actually. Okay. So that is the Jira tutorial, very specific Jira tutorial videos I have created. Okay. And then see lot of things. See, self study is the best study, guys. Okay. If suppose I'm telling you something until you do not go and do some kind of research your own and do some practices, it's not going to happen. I'm telling you. Okay. I'm expecting some people to join Kasturi. You were having some questions. If you can join, you can ping me hi or something. Then we can talk on your thing. Okay. Um, see again, Mega Gupta, you are saying BRDFRS user stories document you have. You are knowing that well. Well, you know these all things. Zero tutorial. Again, I'm saying you, it's already there. Just go and have a look on that. Okay, and then other videos are there. Let me see. Mm, templates. BRD I have already created the video. Sanju Chauhan. Why don't you go and see those videos and figure it out the template? I believe I have given, even though I have shared the links for the share folder, Google Drive share folder, where you can see the FRD dedicated document based on the case study. Okay, this very nice document created. I created sometimes long back. I mean, I was giving an interview. They are asking some to create a document based on some case study. So I've created that. Okay, so why don't you go and refer that? Okay. Uh, so any guys and whoever is joined, please go and ping your questions. Okay, we can talk over there. Uh, mm, I want to be BA. Kindly tell me, it's me. I don't know the name of this aspirant, but saying I want to become a BA. Kindly tell me which institute teach maximum skills. I don't know. No one can. whoever, I mean, is I mean, see, it's you who has to put the maximum efforts. Okay, no, any institute cannot do, neither me. Okay, I will tell you those things which time permits, which my mental and health condition permit, that I can tell you. Okay, but it's you. You know your aim, your goals, and all that. So you have to put your best effort to learn the things. Okay, so you learn the things from my channel. You can go and there is no restriction. You can browse some other channels, Google it, learn it. Right, so it's not like you find one institute who will mix up all the knowledge in a glass of water and then you can go and drink it and then you're gaining everything. No, it's not possible. We have seen this example since our childhood school days. Our teacher was giving that example, right? So that एक कहावत है, रसरी आवत जाते सिल पर पड़े निशान, ऐसे कुछ है एक, means the well, when you pull up the rope, right, so it is hitting to the surface of the rock, of the well rock. So even though it's not seeing that much impact, I mean how the a rope can make a mark, hard mark on the rock, right? But see, because of it is happening frequently, a whole day, whole night, I mean every day, right? Because people are taking water right from the well. So because of this friction and all that continuous, it make a impact on the rock also. So that's what the, if you do a practice, definitely make change. Okay. SDLC, any light on this topic? SDLC is a very huge. I mean, I've given a lot of things, guys. Mayur, hi. Thanks for joining. Is SQL Power BI is essential for? No, it's not. I mean, it's good to have always. Okay. See, nowadays, people are asking multi-talented kind of things. So you should be knowing your basic core skills, and then you will be knowing some kind of SQL, so that why I mean, I've taken a lot of topics, but let me just spend 2 minutes, 3 minutes on this topic as well. Why SQL is essential, not as compared to the developer's knowledge, but at least you should be having to run some commands. Select query, insert query. Insert, again, you will not do insert. It mostly maximum 99% select queries. Because what you will be doing in the backend as a BA, you will be validating some of the data, whether it's floating from the front end to the backend properly or not. You will be seeing the logs have been captured in the system or not, in the backend system or not. Okay, security logs. So these things you might be need to validate when the QA is saying, "Oh yes, done perfectly." But you want to also have a look. But you certainly, I mean, whoever asks you this question, right, in an interview, like you should be perfect in SQL. So you can ask, "Are you appointing a DBA? I mean, I need to do a data migration. I need to do a kind of what exactly you're looking for. As a BA, I can validate the things data is properly inserting in my database tables or not. That's the only thing as a BA you can validate. Okay. So that level of information is required, I believe. Okay, but else is asking you, interviewer asking more on that. You can ask simply the question: What is your expectations? Are we going to give me the position of a DBA, or I need to write the whole SQL queries for the developers backend? Because generally, developer it's himself write the SQL queries for his data, right? So it's not like it's so restricted things you have to always learn and then only you can appear in the interviews. Not, but having the knowledge of a select query, that's definitely help you. Okay, some join queries, again, that is select query. All form of the select query. That all I say. You will not. What you will be having a drop table query? Why you will drop a table? Tell me. As a BA, you do not have any authority to drop any table or alter any table. You cannot do. So as a BA product owner, you should be having the all variety of knowledge of a select query. That's it. Okay. Power BI. Power BI is good to have. I also learned that basically. It's a very fantastic tool. And if you see Power BI, these things are coming today, but you already having these analytics diagrams in your Excel sheet long back. You go and add the pivot chart. That's what it is doing also, pivot chart. But Power BI is bringing more flexibility in that, more comparative analysis you can do. A lot of analytical diagrams you can present on the one page for your business or management reviews and all that, like how sale is growing, in which country it is going, or particular item in this area, how it is going. A lot of comparison diagrams chart you can present in Power BI, and it is having inbuilt AI. So if they want to search any particular data within your Power BI diagrams, so you can narrate that wordings, not in the local language, not in the English language, but in the local language also, because AI understand that, and then it will show the, it will filter the data. So Power BI is a living dashboard. When you build any dashboard based on the Power BI, it gives you a living dashboard. It keeps on changing based on your data is coming in your system, or you are manipulating the data based on your requirements. It keep on changing. Okay, it's a live document. You can publish it to your office dashboard or somewhere where the business people will be keep on monitoring how sale is growing, which particular product price I mean sale is going down. I mean, a lot of analytics you can do in that area. Okay. Google Drive. Mayur, I will share you. Let me figure it out. But I will try to waste your time. I mean, after this ending of this live session, I will again drop you that. But anyhow, you go to the community link. I've shared it. Just scroll down. I have already shared. Okay. But I will again paste for you. Don't worry. Sandhya, I will take your question. Just give me a second. What is this question? SDLC, Pooja Bajaj. Hi, if you're joining, I don't know you're here in this call or not, but yes, Pooja, SDLC is a very huge video I have created already. If you can go and figure it out, software development life cycle, waterfall model, RP model, Agile Scrum model, Essential Safe model, everything I have explained in a separate videos. So it's a matter of you can go and check. If you still have any questions, you can just ask me. Okay. Sandhya, thanks for joining. How to show your non-BA experience as a BA? Very good question. See, is if interviewer is asking you, see, first thing you can present in your resume. If you are cloud certified something, example I'm telling you, if you are automation, might be you have learned something, or you are database learning skills, or any other cloud experience, you can present on your resume itself. That's the first place you can show your as a non-technical experience. But if you are already in an organization, yeah, already, or during the interview process, you can call out those technical terms during your interview process. Oh, yeah, I've user authentication I've done with Azure AD or Amazon Web Services authentication or separate IDP services. Okay, so these are the things you can call out during the interview sessions if you already having that experience, you already worked. Because if you just copy pasting your bookish knowledge during the interview process, if the interviewer is not in the good mood, he will ask you a lot of questions then in that case. And then if you go into deep, if you don't know, then he will easily understand, oh, you're just making me kind of showing me something, but he doesn't have that skills. Okay, so don't do that. If you really have, please call out. There is no hesitation. Okay, please call out. You have to make a maximum impact during the interview. Correct. Now, third situation, when you already selected and then you are working as a product owner, business analyst, then how you will show up your non-technical skills? You closely work with architects. You participate all the technical discussions, and then you can show your technical knowledge there. You participate in the high HLD, LLD diagrams, enterprise architect diagram. Why? Yes, yeah, absolutely possible. Okay. So if you have that knowledge, it will be a lot of stage you can present that during your resume preparation, during your interview, and during your in the project in your organization. Okay. Kapil Patil, hello and good morning. Hey, Kalpesh. Thanks for joining. Kapil, hi, thanks for joining. What does the interviewer ask in internal discussion after technical round? Internal discussion. What do you mean by internal discussion? No, after technical, I think it could be a project manager round after technical. That I know. Internal discussion, if you're referring internal discussion means the project manager round, I can tell you. Okay. or I'm taking that assumption and then I'm going to explain. Okay, so project management round. See, technical round tells to the project manager he is compatible, he is having the skills, right skills to serve that particular role from the technical point of view. I mean, you can create documents, you can create diagrams, you can handle your team. But project management, the project management side, they want to evaluate your client management skills, relation, how you maintain the relationship with the client, okay, your com skills, and then situation handling skills, and then team management skills. You will say, why team management, sir? I am a BA and a product owner. There is a project manager who will know. It's not like that. A product owner, a BA, spends more time with the team only rather than compared to the project managers. Okay, you will be sitting with the project teams, you will be handling to the client, you will be interacting with the client. So basically you will be spending a lot of times with the client and your team. So they want to evaluate in their absence, are you really having the capability to interact with those people, the client, and maintain that relationship, so that you will not make them annoy or something where the relationship will be on a stack and then project will be little bit like, see, if they disagree or they disappoint with your way of approaching them, they don't like your attitude or something, it will be a negative impact on the project. Okay, so that's why the project management round is basically based on your how you make a relationship with the client, and how do you interact with your internal team. Internal making happy to the internal team is a BAPO responsibility as well, you know. If they are not collaborative, you have to push them, you have to make them realize how the collaborative approach is required for any project. This again a BAPO responsibility. Okay, that's why and then what other kind of question situation. So they will give you one scenario. Oh, client is not happy, or is or example, he is delaying the project, he is not giving you requirement in time, what you will do? So you have to respond based on the questions been asked on this kind of situation handling things. Okay, I will take you one example. Okay, so if the client is not giving you requirement in time and there is a, then what you will do basically. So you, anybody knows, right? I mean, as a product owner or business analyst, the time is very essential because project is having a time bound. If it is having a time bound, it means you have to collect the requirement, you have to analyze the requirement, you have to develop and test and deliver the requirement within that time frame. If it is very first point itself the client is not giving you the requirement, means it's the having an impact or risk of the delivery timeline. Okay, so what you will do as a BA? So you will suppose you set up a one team with the client. Okay, of course he has accepted that meeting and or he is rejecting that meeting, suppose. So you will again set up a time, or you will write an email looping your project manager and everybody by saying, by respected or dear, the name of the client member or stakeholder to whom you want to speak, right? Was taking a meeting with you to discuss on this requirement is highly required, and it's going to impact on the further sprint or something deliverable. You write that, you set up the meeting, and then if he's not responding at all or he's not accepting your meeting invites, you can again send a polite email by saying, we surely need your time and all that. I mean, like some polite communication, 2 3. Later, you will simply escalate this to you internal, not don't loop your external in that email. And then your project manager, your sales people will interact to that top level or their superior. See, you might not interacting the superiors for requirement gathering. They might have appointed some spokes, right? So they are not a solo decision maker, but they will be working under some client side hierarchy. So if he is not responding, you have to escalate to their top level, and then you have to give that risk. Boss, it is already he's not responding, and then he's not giving a time, and then it is going to impact. Right, next sprint there is no backlog and all that. He's not giving the time, or is going to impact the deliverable. Okay, the deadlines and all. So then he will take immediate. Why you are not responding? By what is your problem? Then or he will not interested. Then he will appoint some other Spock. Simple. It's not our headache. It's their headache. But highlighting or escalating the things in the right time is very essential. Okay, that you have to do within a day or two. That's maximum 1 2 reminder, polite reminder to the client, and then immediately escalate to your project manager. Here, the project manager plays a lot of good roles, activities. He immediately take that because he's perfect in that area, escalation handlings and all that. But what project manager is asking during the interview to you to understand your strategy, your approach in this situation. The approach I'm telling you, that's what exactly you have to communicate during the interview. You cannot escalate as a product owner or business analyst. I don't know you having that authority to escalate these things, but you can to client directly, but you can escalate to your project manager or program managers. Okay, then if they say, oh, you, why don't you only go and escalate? You are free, you're free, then you can do that. Okay, so these are situational thing. You have to follow your internal company hierarchy, and definitely the same hierarchy falls as well to the client side as well. So you never, miss or escape any of your hierarchy. That's the first important, very important thumb rule you have to follow and remember when you are working in an organization. Okay, your reporting manager, your project manager, you should always loop, and then you always follow their instructions. Okay, I mean, you should be aligned with their thought. If you really, if the client, if your project manager say or report manager say, oh, you can also do, then you can do, but don't do, from your end directly. Okay. Okay, I think Kapil, I try to answer your thing. Okay. Yeah. Kalpesh Patil, I have joined a startup company as associate business analyst. Okay, good. Congratulations. They want me to take project manager responsibilities. Generally, this is happening. I've had one of my other friend also who is working in a Delhi, and I don't have any technical knowledge. See, project management things is not technical. Again, there is a very bad perception. The project manager generally, I mean, in any service based or product based organization, generally the project manager, uh, who is the project manager, is the some of the senior technical developer, software developer is been software senior, then principal, and then project manager. But it's not like project manager always should be technical. Okay, so it should be having the management skills. See, for technical things, decisions, you already having that, right? Principal software developers or something consultants, right? Why you want to be. So you take it as this as an opportunity to learn project management skills as beginning of your phase itself. It will, I'm sharing you, I mean, you definitely grow a lot. Take this opportunity because you are fresher, I believe, right? You are just joined as associate business analyst. Definitely you will learn a lot. You will learn the business analysis skills as well as the project management skill. So within 4 5 years of your work experience, definitely you can apply for a product owner and the product manager or project manager role also, because we are gaining. See, you will be having the delivery pipeline, you will be creating, you will release plan, you can create. See, they will not definitely dump you everything on you. They will be appointing a shadow resource or something. You can go and consult. You having any difficulty, you can talk to your managers. Okay, so it's a very good learning phase for you, Kalpesh. Go ahead and do that. Okay, Mayur, thank you. Welcome, Kalpesh. Yeah, they want me to plan the sprint assigned task. Huh? So this is not a project management thing. This is your business analyst role only. You have to plan your sprint. You know what kind of you have to create the backlog. You have to plan your sprint, set up the sprint planning meeting with client, prioritize the sprint stories. Okay, and then your scrum master will set up the sprint this one sprint planning. See, one thing is backlog prioritization meeting with client that you have to set up with client. So you will be having a 50 user stories. So which top 10 stories are client is looking for next sprint, that you have to set up. where the scrum master will come in picture. He will set up the sprint planning meeting, the day one of the sprint, right? Then he will set up, and then out of those 10 stories, then you can explain to the team, and then they will pick up which story will be taken by which developer and all that. So that all I have created very lengthy, very specific video on that. Please go through that. Okay. So it's the thing you mentioned here is not a project management. No, 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 no. It's a business analyst, product owner role only. Okay, then you have confused. No, as long as you're not been asked to create a whole product roadmap, a release plan, team allocations, team hiring, then and then in the kind of this thing billing thing also, then you are not doing a project management role. Okay, it's a pure business analyst role you are doing, that I can see. Okay, Kapil, can you explain acceptance criteria? Okay, so again, repeated question, but yes, Kapil, I will try. But I'm requesting you guys seriously. I've given everything in my videos. Please go through, spend some time. I know when people pick up the phone, they want to entertain themselves, right? Videos, shorts. I know. So spend some time in these things. Okay, it will help you. Acceptance criteria is the criteria on which you want to validate the requirement is implemented successfully or correctly or not. Okay, suppose login, very basic example. So what is the acceptance criteria of the login? Username should be username. A system should validate when you hit. System should validate username and password. Second acceptance criteria: if a username field is empty, it should throw a validation message. Username cannot be empty. Third acceptance criteria: password is empty, same kind of message. If username is incorrect and password is correct, you will be having a different validation criteria that will be coming from your IDP, not from your code. No, that acceptance criteria, because that is validating what is the valid username you have. A customer has created time of setting up his account. Okay, that is not validating by your code, that is validating by the IDP. It could be your local AD services or Azure Active Directory or any other IDP, Okta, and what is that, Okta. A lot of IDPs are there. Amazon Web Services also gives. Oracle gives. Okay, lot of IDP services are there. Okay. Similarly, these are the acceptance criteria. So you want to validate one system. What are the acceptance criteria on which you will say yes, this is passing? It's kind of a checklist. Oh yeah, this is done. This is done. This is validating successfully. That's your acceptance criteria. Okay. Kapil, yes, the project management round. Yeah, then I think I explained you correctly. Then I think Kapil. Yeah, same thing. I think I explained you. Okay. Sandhya, can you share me some resume format for through their experience? Be I don't know seriously. Sandhya, you can easily found these things on Google. Um, I'm unable to make a resume showing my non-BA experience as a BA. I'm unable to make a resume showing my non-BA experience as a BA. Oh, you're saying you don't have a BA experience? Okay, okay. See, learn a lot of. What I will do, I will upload some sample video, sample BA resume on Google Drive. I will share that link. Okay, if you see, if you can figure it out something. Okay, but I will say non BA experience as a BA. See, non BA experience. See, only the thing is, Sandhya, you have to do is, so you suppose you are a sales manager or you are a sales executive. Example I'm taking. I'm not saying you are there. Okay, you are a sales executive of any organization. And your organization is a product based organization. I mean, it is selling some product. Suppose a bottle, water bottle. Suppose, and you are there as a sales executive. Okay, what you will do as a BA if you want to convert that really? See, first of all, there is no shortcut of that. You have to learn the BA skills for sure. Okay, then the next step, if you really doesn't have that designation, that role you have played in that, it's a false thing. But yes, if it is really going to help your career, what I will suggest you, you try to see if you're really interacting with the client, your customers, as a sales executive. I believe you will be doing. So take that as a input, as a BA, because BA also interact with the client to collect their requirement, right? Similarly, while selling these bottles, you will be interacting with the customers, or a small firm owners or something, right? So consider that as a, you are interacting with your clients and collecting the requirement. Here you are collecting the requirement related to your water bottle, but there you will be collecting requirement for your software. See, business analyst, product owner role, these are for the software development. Okay. So if you really see your, the company name you are putting on a resume, it is really somewhere it is having a touch of the software industry. It is having a wing, small, even the small wing of a software developer, or it is outsourcing the software development to any third party. In that case also you can do this thing, otherwise you cannot do that. Simply a person, suppose say cello company, cello did never, I have seen cello companies in the IT industry. So if I am putting my experience in working in a cello company as a product owner or business analyst, and I was doing a software development, who will believe, right? No one can do that, because it doesn't is having, none of its business is related to IT. Okay. But if you go to the Wipro is having its non-IT consumer products also. It is having washing powder, it is having some other things, but it is having the IT products also. It is this is service provider also. There you can try to do this kind of things. Okay. Yeah. Uh, Hope I've tried to answer you, Sandhya. Abhay, how to handle government client? I have given you lengthy discussion on that, guys. Okay, Abhay. Uh, yeah, I know there from their side, no one is ready to explain the technical things. Don't expect technical things from there. They try to collect. See, you never can expect a technical requirements received from the client side. They can give you the business requirement and at most functional requirement if they're really well versed what they are expecting. So, as a business analyst, you collect the business requirement, convert into functional, and then discuss with your architects, your technical team to figure it out to achieve this business requirement through this functional capability. What could be the technical requirement? The technical requirement is what? The architect, in which technology has to be built up, what kind of systems it has to integrate with, what is the backend it has to use. Correct? So I've worked with the government firms and they are not technical, that I understand, but they are good to tell you the business requirements, I believe. Definitely they. Sometimes you face challenges to get their appointment, but you have to be patient. That is first example I have tried to tell you. The client relationship, you cannot spoil the client relationship. To build a client relationship, your sales and marketing team already put a lot of efforts. So as a BE or product owner, you cannot go and show your arrogance or something and then you spoil the relationship. No. Okay, so you have to keep this thing in your mind very, 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 very hard, very correctly, very deep. Okay. Kapil, thank you. Thank you. My pleasure. Next question, Kapil. Again, what is the difference type of backlog? There are two types only. Okay. One is the product backlog. One is the sprint. Very good question, guys. Whoever is joining or maybe seeing this later also, please, this is an interview question. Okay. What type of different backlogs created by the product owner or business analyst? Okay. First thing is product backlog, and then second one is the sprint backlog. What is the product backlog? Product backlog is the whole product level user stories. You collect the requirement, you dump in your product backlog. Collect the requirement from client, you convert into user story, dump into the product backlog. So when you go to the product level backlog, you see everything, every backlog, all the stories so far you have created for that product. The product could be the anything, right? Whatever the software you're developing for. Now sprint backlog, out of this 100 or 200 backlog, product backlog, what are 3, 4, 5, or 6 based on your team capacity are they pulling up into the particular sprint? When when some of the user stories are pulled up from the product backlog to the sprint, that calls as a sprint backlog. Scrum team works on the sprint backlog, not on the product backlog. That's the very some differences. Okay. Sumit Singh, hi, thanks for joining. What is the difference between SRS and FRD? Okay. Sumit, I will request you to go through the videos from day one. I think I'm explaining this many times and in deep. Okay, so I will give you some hint, but I will request you to go to the videos. Okay, FRD or FRS, these are same thing. Functional requirement document or functional specification document, where you capture the function requirement. Function requirement is what, which user is interacting, which part of the system, and how it is interacting, what is filling out, what is submitting, everything what is you can do as a user, what you are interacting with the system. That's the functional requirement. But how the things going inside the back end of the system, that's the SRS. Okay, where you capture the functional plus non-functional requirement together. First half section will be functional, second half section will be the non-functional. So first half section you can copy paste from your FRD, and the second half section you have to create separately within the same document. It will be having a non-functional requirement, performance requirement, scalability requirement, availability requirement, space requirement, any kind of integration requirements, okay, security requirements. That all you put into the SRS document. Okay. Next question, Sumit. What are the day-to-day activities BA do in the both Agile waterfall? Sumit, I request you again, you go to that videos. I have separate videos into those two topics. Okay, please go through that. If you still face any challenge, you can comment me out, and we can, wherever we will meet next time, I will explain you separately. Okay, but I will, if you go to those videos in deep in detail, full videos, you will left with no questions, I believe. Okay. Orati Anand, hi. Sir, banking and other domain-wise interview questions, can you please share? Hey, if I really want to banking, I mean, I also need to Google it, guys. Okay, frankly, see, nothing to hide here. Eh, If I am working in a banking project, I definitely can share you, but I'm not working in a banking project. But I can tell you some of the banking related questions. I mean, based on my some of the explorations as well. You can go and explore. Okay, see, it could be payment related, it could be like how the accounts related, how different accounts are maintained. Okay, banking is very vast. It is having, you cannot be specialized in all the banking areas. It start from your account opening, then closing, settlement, lease, lends, and then hire and purchase. Then it comes the payments. Payments itself is a very vast. So it's having very huge area. And what I have seen so far, people can expertise in one or two area of the banking. You cannot, nobody can have all the areas of the banking expertise. It's not possible. It's very huge. Okay, so figure it out from the website and all that. That I will request. Okay, so interview questions will be related very specific. I'm telling you. They will ask you what is the international payment gateway. If you make a money transfer, what is the international payment gateway? Tell me. So there are a lot of third. I mean the I read, actually I'm forgetting the names. It is having some national banks, and within national bank your local bank. Then that local bank, it is having one that national level one bank. I mean, take example, if you are ICICI Bank, if you're making a money transfer to international bank, so where that money is going first, where the communication channel is going. So first, where branch, your branch is there, right, in which you are having account. There it will be having that ticket or a service request, right, for transferring that amount to that account, which is settling in the international bank, correct? Then for that ACI, ICCI, India level, there will be one foreign exchange bank for that particular ICCI, similar SDFC, similar any other bank. Then what that central bank of that ICCI bank takes care, daily basis, it collects all over India local branches request related to international transfers. It collect, and then it approach to the ICCI in which that transfer has to go, right? International. So it will go approached, and every bank, these bank also having some representative bank reference banking into that country also. So ICCI will be having foreign settlement kind of bank in the US, suppose US also. So that request will go to that this central bank, not a local branch bank. This central bank, India, will request that to the US central bank of the ICCI. Till not it is not to the client one to whom you are sending the money. No, till it's ICCI only. Then we will receive some information which account which has to go. It is having some dedicated some referencing numbers which is provided by some international banking transactions number. Something is there, I don't know. Then that ICCI will request to that US central referencing bank. Something is there, I'm not able to call out the exact name. So it is having very long process, and until you don't have the full knowledge, you cannot explain to the interviewer. Okay, so this, see one question, see these many lengthy process of explanation, correct? So it's not easy, guys. Okay, so expertization in one area in the banking itself is a great I mean great kind of achievement. Okay. What is that? Sir, when will we connect to your online Google Meet Zoom class? So let me figure it out. Let me figure it out soon. Soon, Sonu, hi. What is bottleneck process? I'm not sure. Shonu, thanks. Sorry. I mean, I could not answer your question. A lot of terms are coming these days, bottleneck process. What is this bottleneck process? See, वो हाथी निकल गया पूछ बच गया, वो वाली कहानी के हिसाब से होगा है. पता नहीं क्या है ये bottleneck process. I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. Okay, you can better Google it and figure it out. Okay. I can explain you the second question. I'm coming on that, Sonu. Abhijit goes, hey, thanks for joining. Your videos really helped me. Thank you. Learn a lot of things and tackle the interview in the proper fashion. Nice to hear that. It is an inspiration for the others. Thank you, Abhijit, for sharing this. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sonu, next question. What is as is and to be? I think that also I've explained, but let me quickly take up that. As is means the current process of the client. Suppose there is a account opening kind of department. So you are, and you want to make, a client is requesting to make a software for the client account opening process. So what they are doing today, so first step, customer is coming, help desk. Okay, they are approaching to help desk is redirecting to the account opening section. Customer is going to that one. So customer account opening person executive will give you one form. So that form will hold first name, last name, address, whatever the information. Okay, then it is submitting. Customer will fill and submit it to the account opening section department, the executive. Then that will verify, attach your documents, everything. It will verify. It will go submit to the, to whom, branch manager or somebody. Then it might be submitting to some other central agency or for banking account system. I don't know where they finally send that document for account opening and all that. Maybe their home browser or something also. So these all as is process. You have to draw a diagram. That's the BPM diagram. You go and watch that video BPM diagram I have created. You will put all the departments, roles, and then processes. Okay, end-to-end process you map. That is as is. To be process. In their as is process, what exactly they are missing, what the difficulty they are facing, you have to draw in the to be process. Khatam. To be process will be your function requirement. Your FID you can put in the FID. Okay. Kalpesh, in daily stand-up meeting, how can I understand how much time developer should require to completing? You don't need to do that actually. It's see what they have committed during the sprint. That's the only thing you have to validate. I mean that Scrum Master will validate whether they are on the time or not, on the track or not. As a business analyst, product owner, we should not really bothering about sprint to sprint. But yes, if they are not delivering end of the sprint, those committed stories, you can escalate. That you can escalate. Okay. These so one story is actually very easy story, but developer is saying no, it's very difficult, it's complicated, it will take whole sprint. Perhaps it should be taking 1 or 2 day. The engineering team, the person is saying it will take 5 6 days or 8 days of development. You cannot judge basically how much amount of code they have to write to achieve that is the story. No, that's why a senior developer, a project manager, generally they promote from the engineering side. That example I have given you, right? Project manager, the project manager who is promoted through the engineering background, they understand these things better, and they say, why you are taking this much time, huh? Tell me what the complexity you are saying. It is a 5 line of code, one classes, two objects, and then you can complete this one. Why you are saying it will take 8 days? These kind of discussions you see in the during the planning sessions and estimation sessions. Okay, so business analyst doesn't bother about. But business analyst can only make sure a product owner uh, to they having understanding of the requirement and very deep clear requirement. They should not say, oh, this is the gray area, that's why I am giving this higher estimate. They should not say that. If they are saying that, it means you have not explained them well, and then it's on your plate. You have to again explain them in a deep the way they want to hear it out. Every questions they are asking, they have to clarify them. Okay. Or and the same interview asked me in my interview, what is the bottleneck process? I don't know, yeah, seriously. You better revert, ask them. I've never heard back this kind of terminology where it use. You see these kind of questions, you can ask, or you can simply say, I'm not able to get that wording of bottleneck, can you please little elaborate your question? Then it might be some of your existing process you already know, they're just calling out different terminology. Okay, once you clarify that, you can explain easily. But altogether, if it is a new process, definitely you can say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not, never worked in this process, or I know, and I don't know. Basically, simple. You can say it's a new to me. So everything you know doesn't is not really require everything you know. Okay. So whichever you know, confidently answer. We doesn't know. Okay, what to do? Okay. Sonu, how can we convert use cases into user stories? अच्छा, आई थिंक इस पे भी मैंने आई थिंक क्रिएटेड अ वीडियो, सोनू. सी यूज केसेस कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ, सी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यूज केसेस क्या होते हैं? यूज केसेस होता है जैसे कि application form fill. That's the one use case. You need to fill up a one application form. That's the one use case. Then next is account opening. That's another use case. Debit card application. That's another use case. Credit card application. Another use case. Hmm? So within those use cases, you will be having a lot of other dependent small dependencies. Like while opening the account, the use case, you will be capturing personal details, family details. You will be capturing financial details, references. What do you call? The contact details, everything, right? So you just the use case diagram. The main one, the big one is the main use case, and then small include. The small are the sub use cases. Okay, so basically combination of use case. You can say it's a one use case diagram. Okay, okay, but a user story generally it's a piece of very small piece of the information. So, user story definition itself, it should be independent. It can be achieved within one sprint. So, if you see one use case which is already a small piece, suppose application form you have to design, UI, first name, last name, address, email, communication, blah 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 blah, and it can be done in one sprint. You create one user story for that. But if use case is big, Use case is big. Example, it is having Aadhaar within that Aadhaar number and validation. So definitely it cannot be one user story. So for that use case, you will be having multiple user stories. One thing is form filling, and basic details, and Aadhaar details, authentication, where you will be doing the authentication. It means you have to do integration with UIDAI, UDAI. What is that? Aadhaar form where you get the password and all that. Your request will go to that, right? So depends on your size of the requirement. You basically create the user stories. Okay, so use cases and user stories are you derive the user stories from the use cases. Okay, it could be vice versa also, if it is small use cases, basically couple of use cases can be part of in one story also. If somebody will say no, it's a very dedicated definition of that, you can say no, it's not always true. It depends. If use case is small, so couple of use cases can become one use story also. Okay, so how low level you are deriving your use cases, that is having a dependency on the user stories. If you're very high level, then one use case may represent multiple user stories. If your use cases are low level, then maybe one to one use case, one story, or multiple use cases become one user story. Okay, you can convey in that way. Okay, Urti Anand, question are silent or salient. Questions are salient. Okay, some question duration, start, sort, and user story planning. I think these are right? Hmm? Sort, story planning, what is start, what is start. So these are kind of a bookish knowledge. I think they are trying to ask, not the real experience wise. Sometimes you see such kind of interview, where they open a Google and then they find out something and they start questioning. So try to be ready for such kind of things also, guys. What I will say. Okay, what we difference model use and business model test. What are different model? I mean, different models. I mean, see, there is nothing to validate. See, as long as you are able to create the business process model diagram, basically you can understand their current process, and then to be process will justify their requirement future process. I think that's the only thing keep on I'm using, and then it is nowhere challenging I'm seeing so far. Okay, it is satisfying all the client requirements. So if people are expecting something, I don't know, seriously I don't know. Okay, so business process modeling, that's a really good tool to do a comparison of the current and futuristic processes. Okay, what different model test, I don't know, seriously. Okay, Hardik, what is the process if customer wants to change in their product? Any practical example? Very good question. I have given that kind of, we have discussed already in past actually, Hardik. If you really have time, you can go through that. A small hint, it's a product, they can change anytime. Only the thing is they should not be frequent, and it should not impact on the delivery timeline. If it is impacting, you should start escalating that. Okay, but please go through that videos. I have in past, I have already explained this in deep. Okay, please. Urti, sir, you in which domain you are working? It's a kind of it's very technical actually. It's a platform portal. Okay, it's a platform portal, technical portal. Currently, I'm working. So that will be having that kind of a single sign-on, SSO, IDP knowledge, rollbacks, access control, how the role configurations, how you will be setting up the accounts in the Azure Active Directory, what is the single tenant, multi-tenant. Okay, so a lot of things comes in that. Hmm. Uh, Sprint duration. What is this? What is sprint duration? Sprint duration or planned duration? I don't know. What is this? What are the different tools you use in business model tools? I'm telling you, right? I created a business process model. That's it. I don't know about other tools. Might be knowing, but I'm not able to get your question then. Okay. business model, that's the business process model, I believe. That's the only thing I use. Okay. 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 So I think it's 1 hour approximate, guys. Okay, keep on posting your questions. I believe I'm seeing Urti Anand, your interviewer has asked you most of the common questions from the Google, like what is the smart technique, what is the SWOT, what is the R bag. I mean, some kind of a nomenclature, and then some kind of a specific terms he's asking. Not a real time practical example he's asking, but more on the um, some high level understanding of terms and terminologies. That's what I think he's asking. Okay, so just go through and Google, definitely it will help you. Okay, so acha, sprint duration is, it means, okay. So sprint duration, Anand, is 2 weeks of time. Generally, is a standard. Okay, um, but if some companies wants to fall into 3 weeks or 4 weeks of time, nobody can stop them. It's the company decision and their client decision in which format they want to go. Okay, so normal agile scrum, that is the essential safe model. It is a two sprint of time, two weeks of time. Okay, 2 weeks represents one sprint, where you will be getting 10 days of development and 2 days of testing and delivery. Okay, that's the whole thing. Okay. Okay, guys. So thanks for joining today's session. Hope some of the try to answer and it might be helpful for you. We will meet next time as well, Sunday same time. Okay, 11 a.m. And I will bring more questions, more real time. I will also come up with some kind of challenging questions for the interview. Let's meet and discuss next meeting. Okay, guys. Thank you and keep watching, guys. The previous one, I'm seeing some questions which is I've explained a lot of times. Okay, request to please go through those videos. Okay, take your personal time in that also. Okay, not on the shorts and all videos. Okay, go through, it will really help you. Thank you, thank you, bye, have a nice day, nice learning. Thank you.